The engine is still
For launch, GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Well, hello, everybody. How are we all doing today? I didn't have a chance to share out the podcast yet. I got stuck in the elevator. welcome to Cosmic Cushion. I'm Susan Swanbeck, and then we have
Linda Nelson.
So
happy to be here.
This is going to be a very awesome discussion, something I'm interested in finding out because I really don't know that much about hypnosis. I mean, I can give you an example of what I know, and I will do that in about a second. And then Miss Linda can get into actually explaining this to us. But don't forget, like and subscribe and follow to all of the Rift Nation Network. Well, hello, my son wants me to make cookies and Ed Tips hat. We're a little late, but don't worry, we're functioning, which is good.
Hey, Howie.
So Rift Nation Network, okay? Follow us, like, subscribe. If you'd like to send a private message over by verse email, go to riftnationnetwork@gmail.com or join us, for those that are listening in, join us over on our live chat pages, which you get to see all of our awesome hosts in person, and you get to chat with us, and that's Facebook, Twitch, Rumble, let's see, YouTube. We there's a whole bunch more. And if you're listening to us after, welcome. So
Hey.
yeah. So I can tell you the only thing I know about hypnosis. Okay? Try not to laugh, people. Okay? Here we go. The only thing I know about hypnosis is back when my father was alive and he went to a Christmas party that he brought me. I don't know why. I was the oldest girl, but he brought me to the Christmas party with him and my mom. And they had hypnotists there. So this hypnotist was doing games and things and tried to hypnotize me. It just didn't work. I couldn't be hypnotized. I don't know why. But did manage to hypnotize the boss of the company, which was Hebert Construction Company at the time, and convinced him that his appendage that you utilize to go potty with was no longer there and he really had to go. So this guy in the meantime was walking in and out of the bathroom saying that he couldn't go, that it's not there. And meanwhile, he's having a conversation with this guy who's on mic. And so the hypnosis turns around and says, yeah, you see that lady there? She's got your thing. You got to get it from her before you can go to the bathroom. So meanwhile, the owner of the company's chasing this lady around, and lo and behold, yeah. So it's a big story. The guy wet his pants. But that's about the only thing I know about hypnosis is the laughter from that. But
So that's really funny.
Not it, huh?
It is. It is. That's stage hypnosis or hypnosis for entertainment. And that's a lot of fun. It's loads of fun.
Yes, the
a
only
hypnotist
thing
gets
I know about.
Yeah. So it is fun. So I got into this like years and years ago when I was in grade school and reading, probably second, third grade. I would go to the school library and I would look up books, and the ones for hypnosis always drew my eye. And of course, those are stories and a lot of entertainment stuff too. Well, as I got older and learned a little bit more about it, I decided I wanted to be a hypnotist too. So I went and took the classes and became a hypnotist and got certified and everything. And now I'm living in Washington State. Washington State is one of the two, I think there's only 2 states in this whole country that has licensed hypnotherapists. The other states, they don't let you call yourself a hypnotherapist. You're allowed to call yourself a consulting hypnotist. The terminology is different depending on where you live. So it's kind of interesting in that aspect. I am going to try not to get into the really detailed technical stuff here, but I would like to just start with the first slide here.
Okay, here we go. Ta-da!
So this is what is hypnosis. So this will just explain a little bit. Hypnosis is a natural state of focused attention and heightened suggestibility, not sleep, not unconscious. The hypnotized person is fully aware and in control at all times. The subconscious mind becomes more accessible, allowing new thoughts, habits, and perceptions to take hold. The mind enters a deep concentration, alert, yes, yet profoundly still and open to direction.
You let me know when you want me to switch slides. So what this means that when, even though a lot of people have tried to hypnotize me, but one lady tried to hypnotize me to quit smoking, which is a really good thing, but it didn't take. I can't seem to go deep enough under when people are around me. Do you run across that?
Yeah, generally, if I take somebody into hypnosis, I will usually put a suggestion in there. If you hear noise around you or background noise, it just reminds you to go deeper and deeper into relaxation. And so it kind of feeds helping you go into trance a little bit more. I don't know if you're not smoking thing. Was that just one session or was it a group?
No, it was a couple. It didn't work. I couldn't go under at all. I even, that other guy, I even had him when he tried to put me under back when I was a teenager. He couldn't do it either. So I don't know if it's because I'm too aware, or is it a trust thing, or what do you think?
Well, you have to have trust in your hypnotist. Otherwise, you're going to fight it the whole way. So I try to make people feel comfortable. I would give people permission to move, to stop the session, to do whatever they need to feel safe. I talk a lot about ethics when I do hypnosis because I'm not going to make people bark like a dog or cluck like a chicken.
Yeah,
I
but it's
don't.
funny when you watch it.
It is funny, and I watch those. I mean,
Yeah.
and I have friends that do it, but that's not one of the things that I do. But the other thing is, and they alluded it to a little bit on that first slide, was hypnosis is a really natural thing. So if
Oh,
you're
are we on
driving
this
down the,
one?
you can, but
Okay.
if you're driving down the road and you miss your exit
Yeah.
because you were thinking about something, you were thinking about what you had to do or what you did or whatever is going on in your head, so you just missed your exit, you were in what's called highway hypnosis.
Huh.
It happens a lot, and the same thing happens when, have you ever driven through a snowstorm and snow is just like going through like this?
People
It's
that are
like hitting your
snowblind. See, I'm
windshields.
not. I can drive I can drive anything. I can drive a tractor trailer in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Nothing bothers me. But some people do get snow blindness.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me so much. I don't like driving in snow, but the way the thing is, the snow is hitting the windshield is kind of hypnotic in itself.
Huh.
So I have to stay. I just know enough to stay extra alert. And sometimes that means open the window a little bit in the cold. But yeah, it's a very natural state. When you read a book and you're putting yourself in the position of one of the characters,
Guilty.
that's a form of hypnosis.
That I can do.
Yep. So you are not non-hypnosis. It's just for whatever reason, the technique or something else didn't work. I have done hypnosis sessions with people, and the first thing I've done with them maybe didn't work. So I'll take them out of hypnosis, and then I'll talk to them a little bit more, and then we go back in, and they have no problem. So sometimes it's just taking you in and how to take you. Did you want to read through these slides? I don't think we're going to get through all of them.
Oh, you might be surprised.
If you'd like to read this one.
All right. This one, I can see this. What is hypnosis? Well, this is a good question because, I don't know either. So hypnosis is a natural state of focused attention and highlighted suggestibility. That could be the issue with me. Not sleep, not unconsciousness. So the hypnotized person is fully aware and in control at all times. The subconscious mind is more accessible, allowing new thoughts, habits, and preoccupations to take hold.
So, yeah, a focused, trance-like state of awareness.
Yeah.
And then the mind steps back and your subconscious becomes receptive, so you're able to accept suggestions. And usually the hypnotist will ask you ahead of time what your goal is. And so that helps. The client always retains full control and free will. And I think sometimes that's when people have trouble. They think that the hypnotist is going to take over and tell them something to do that's not going to be comfortable for them, or something that they really are not morally wanting to do. And that's fine. But then again, it goes back to the trust issue. And then it's a gateway for powerful interchange. So if you've ever meditated, a meditative state is probably can be described as what happens before you go into a deeper state of hypnosis. I love hypnosis. I love being in it. I love hypnotizing people. But when I'm in that state, I still know what's going around me. If there's a kid that walks in, or if the dog rustles, and I still hear that, and I'm still aware of it.
So if someone, say, me, used to have like a control issue, would that be a good reason I couldn't be hypnotized at the time?
It could be the person that hypnotized you. It could be how comfortable you were. It could be, were you afraid of going into hypnosis that you wouldn't remember something? It could be any of those things. And you don't always have to be in a deep state of hypnosis to be able to have it work. Like when you're in a book and you're reading that book and you're putting yourself in the character's place and seeing all these images that the book describes.
Yeah.
You aren't like totally unaware of what's going on around you.
No, I'm not. It's just very relaxing to me to play Pictionary, but that's how the spirits, my spirits, they play Pictionary a lot in my head. So when I read a book, it's easy for me to get into the Pictionary mode.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a matter of getting to which sense you're gonna resonate with the most.
So what do we expect in a session?
I'm gonna try to get on over here because my eyes. So we've got the intake and consultation, and generally, you know, a lot of that is done ahead of time when you're making the appointment, unless you're making an appointment online, and then you could request some time to talk to the hypnotist. Usually people will give you 10-15 minute phone call so that you can figure out if you like this person or if they're be able to help you. And so then the induction is when you are guided into a state of relaxation. It kind of quiets the busy part of your mind and the analytical conscious mind. I don't know what's the matter with my. Sometimes I read things differently and they come out of my mouth. so then there's a deepening, and the deepening usually continues. I find when I am deepening somebody that it's not just a one and one done, we're done. So through the session, I will take them deeper and deeper. And sometimes it's a matter of, I don't know if you've seen the muscle thing where you tense one muscle all the way down and then you start slowly letting that go. That's one form of induction and deepening. You've seen the swinging watch that goes like this on TV? That would work. Some people use those, and I've done that. I don't have a watch, but I've done that with other things, or pendulum. I've done it with an almond. So,
I mean, I do the guided meditation, and I go through a state of relaxation to guide people through a meditative state. But hypnosis, no, I don't know anything about that.
So you're doing that, you've already got the beginnings of hypnosis. It wouldn't be hard for you to go take somebody further.
This is mostly opening people up, you know, psychically and spiritually and stuff. But
yeah, and when I do hypnosis, I find that happens a lot. My intuition just kind of kicks in, and I connect with the people that I'm hypnotizing.
Right.
And so there's this level that's kind of different. And my hands move, and you know, people that have watched me, why are you moving your hands? It's the energy, you know, flowing with the energy and getting everybody connected. So there's therapeutic work, which is things like stop smoking. If you're very anxious about something, you can work with a hypnotist to alleviate that and lessen that. There's a story I like to tell that this lady was terrified of spiders. So she went to a hypnotist because she was tired of being so frightened of them, you know, even the little house spiders. So she went there, and while she was in hypnosis with him, he took her back to the first time that she was afraid of spiders.
Right.
What happened was her mom was standing on a chair, going through the cupboards, cleaning them, and her mom let out this blood-curdling scream. And and you can imagine the drama that ensued because the mom saw the spider.
Yeah.
And so after that, the hypnotist was able to work with her and say, see, that was kind of funny, wasn't it? So they put it in where it changed the perspective of what she had seen back then to what she knows now. And that helped her phobia on spiders. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Therapeutic work can also be taking somebody to the dentist with you. If somebody has a fear of dentists, a hypnotist can go in there with them and help them breathe through that, help them visualize something else and make it a lot easier. In fact, I've seen videos of dentists doing a whole mouth pulling to give somebody dentures without any anesthesia. Now, I am going to take the anesthesia, but I have seen it done on video.
See, it's not the dentist with me, it's the needle. I don't like needles in my mouth.
Yeah,
so
I just
they got to get me past the needle, and then I'm good. I just don't like the needles in my mouth. It's weird.
So what I do when
I go tattoos.
I know, I did that too because I was afraid of needles. But when I go to the dentist, I close my eyes. And now that I know hypnosis too, I kind of take myself into a self-hypnosis. But I always ask the dentist, are you going to put some Novocaine on me before you put the shot on me?
Yeah.
And some of them do, some of them don't. So I always ask. And so once they have that, I just close my eyes and I don't look. But I almost go to sleep at the dentist now.
Now, I know we're getting into the slides, but did you
That's
do you
okay.
teach this?
I can teach it. I have done classes for people that like doing hypnosis for entertainment purposes or couple intimacy, those kind of things. And I've taught classes on how to do that, like how to take your partner into hypnosis. And I really stress the ethics and morals of you have to ask permission. You can't just it's not fair to anybody to do that. Yeah. So that's kind of fun. There's all kinds of things, and some of the slides later on will have a bunch of them, and that's the ones I'm worried about that we're not going to be able to get through all of them.
So emergence is the
emergence.
last one. Yeah, emergence.
So you're gently returned to full emergence, feeling refreshed, clear, and grounded. So a lot of people are, they usually wake up with a smile, and they're feeling like they took a nice nap. I tell people, give yourself about 10, 15 minutes to just settle down, read a book, get a drink of water or something before you go out and drive. Just in case
when I did the smoking thing, when she woke me up, she says, "How do you feel?" I said, "Well, I need to go out and have a cigarette." Like, first words out of my mouth. Like, okay. Now.
Yeah, I guess that didn't work for you.
No, I guess I don't know why. I really wish I could figure it out. And again, I'm not sure if it has anything to do with my gifts and I'm very protective of them, or if it's something that happened when I was younger that I don't allow myself subconsciously to go that deep. I don't know. It's really weird.
Could be. Yeah. And the thing is, most hypnotists that I know, and not all of them, but to do a stop smoking program, they usually have the person come from like 3 to 5 sessions. That way you have a check-in, you have some accountability, and you still have reinforcement there. But that's not my favorite thing to do, but it is good and it does help people
like me. So she put this slide together. So I'm learning as you guys are learning, just so you know. So the next slide says, trance is not something that's done to you. Maybe I need to get that in my head. It is something that happens naturally every single day. I do have to agree with that. I really do, because me and my books and other things that I actually do. Now, this says highway hypnosis, zoning out while driving. You talked about that. Lost in stories, guilty. I do that all the time. Daydreaming, mind drifting into, I think my glasses are dirty.
Into reverie, mind drifting into reverie. So you may be imagining what you're going to be doing later on is going to be like, and that happens all the time.
Like planning. And what is this one? Hypnagogia.
I believe that's how you say that. And it's those drowsy moments between sleep and awake is what I call them.
Oh, see, I call that coffee, please.
I like that.
Coffee. I'm making coffee. Anybody want coffee? Therapeutic uses of hypnosis. Now, some of these, as I'm just scanning really quick, I imagine something like the trauma and PTSD would be the most difficult ones, and phobias. But sometimes in life, we go through things that make things like we just can't. You can't deal. That's the hard part. So these are therapeutic uses of hypnosis, and she has 6 listed here. I'll list them off, and she could talk about which one she wants: anxiety, stress, trauma, PTSD, depression, phobias, grief and loss, and self-esteem. Now,
so I will say something here about the therapeutic uses. And hypnotists, unless they actually have a psychology or psychiatrist degree, mental health degree of some sort, we are not allowed to treat anything that's listed as a mental illness in the DMSO book. So a lot of times hypnotists can work with your physician or your counselor of choice, and they can kind of work and complement each other. But in that case, The hypnotist will send a note with you to your doctor. Your doctor will fill out this form saying that it's okay, and they can consult back and forth with each other to what
Now,
is
what
going to be
about
good.
if someone is, say, has a doctorate in holistic psychology, and you know this person, and
Mhm.
then you have this person who's a hypnotherapist? Couldn't they work together to
Oh
help?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it works best if they do work together. Some doctors don't want to. Some are very happy to work with someone else too.
Huh.
So it depends on your doctor. It depends, on a lot of things. But I just can tell you that as a hypnotherapist, I am not allowed to use those kind of the DMSO stuff. Now, for anxiety, phobias, there are things in hypnosis you can do to minimize some of that. So
Right.
a lot of times just going through the hypnosis process will take some of that away. Depression, you can work on other things like, what makes you feel happy. There's ways around it.
Right. Sorry. I'm really interested in this because I don't know anything about this, but
It's okay.
I mean, like phobias. I'm trying to think of a phobia. Phobia. Bees.
Plain.
Okay, my daughter's deathly afraid of bees, but I know why. So if I know why and say she's deathly afraid of bees, wouldn't, if I shared the knowledge, wouldn't that help with the phobia?
It might, but usually a phobia is goes a lot deeper, and it's kind of tied to emotion or trauma.
Yeah.
So it
Huh.
could help. I was terrified of flying. I'm still a little apprehensive when I go, but I learned self hypnosis and enough that I was able to tie. I don't know how to say this. I mean, we've got an over 21 audience, right? So I was able to tie going off, taking off, and landing, which was what I was mostly afraid of,
Right.
um, with a form of pleasure. So when that would happen, I would go take myself into self hypnosis trance. I'd lay back in my seat as much as I could, close my eyes, and remember a time when I felt something very pleasurable, and that kind of helped me through that fear. So I'm not quite as afraid of that as I used to be.
Now, as we go through this, guys, if you have any questions in the chat room, please feel free because I'm learning about this as the same time you guys are.
Yeah, and I love questions, so I may not be able to answer all of them, but I will do my best.
Ah, so what are we dealing with here now? Behavioral and habit changes. Yeah, smoking.
Yeah,
Okay, here
that
we
would
go.
be your
This I gotta listen
smoking.
to. I'm all ears.
Okay, so smoking, it can be a very good way to quit smoking. Like Susan was saying, it didn't work for her, but there could be other reasons why, and there could be other techniques that would work better for her than what the ones her hypnotist used. Alcohol and substance abuse, you reduce dependency by addressing the emotional roots and subconscious cues during habitual consumption. And a lot of these, if you think about back to what we were talking about last week about shadow work,
Yep.
a lot of these are things that you might encounter during your shadow work, and a hypnotist can help you through a lot of those. Exercise motivation. I like to use visualization with the exercise motivation, or if I've got like something that I want to do competitive coming up, to visualize that and take in the resources that have got me to do things I wanted to do before that had maybe I had trouble with. It helps with insomnia and sleep disorders. You can train your mind to release the tension before you go to bed and surrender to your rest. You can reshape your relationship with food, rewriting the subconscious patterns that you're overeating for. There are a lot of
Or
reasons why,
under eating.
or under eating. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would think that goes along with weight management. But
Yeah.
people are afraid. I mean, there are people that are actually afraid of vegetables, and you can address a lot of this with them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Also, exercise motivation, you can work with that too.
Yep, absolutely. That one's easier, I think, to
Is
work
it?
with.
Huh.
To me, I mean, I like that.
Huh.
But like the alcohol and substance abuse, compulsive habits, a lot of that stuff happens when we're children, and we've overheard things or saw things. And if you think about all the messages that were sent to us on TV when we were kids, maybe just walking in a room when our parents had a commercial on, and some of those things get stuck in our head, and hypnosis will help kind of release that. And you can reframe it. But the commercials, you watch a commercial and you go out and you buy what they were advertising, you were hypnotized into buying that.
Yeah, it's never been like that. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I see a commercial and it's like, dude, seriously, your commercial sucks.
I learned a long time ago, one of the good things that they did teach in school was a multimedia class that talked about advertising and what they do to suck you in. So I'm pretty good about not falling for it, but a lot of times a lot of people do.
I mean, only if I'm hungry and they show a pizza. Yeah, I'm going to say, oh, pizza.
Yeah, you want a pizza.
It's not it.
Yeah.
Or evidence-based practices of medical applications of hypnosis. That is a mouthful.
And these are the fun things. Pain management. You have two different kinds of pain. You have chronic pain, and then you have acute pain. The acute pain is what you get if you like accidentally cut yourself with a knife. Okay. That's it's a fast pain, and your body may go into shock with that. Chronic pain like fibromyalgia, arthritis, different types of arthritis, those kind of things. That's chronic pain. And there are things you can do in hypnosis to help alleviate that.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. So you got wound healing, which that's an acute kind of thing too. But once the shock is over and your body started healing, sometimes there's things, pains and aches that will show up while you're healing, and then that becomes chronic pain. So you can do that. There's guided imagery, and there's different things you can do to make your pain appear smaller or feel smaller, and so that's pretty cool. You can picture your blood cells going to the wound, and those little fighters fighting that for you, and that can help speed up your healing too. IBS and digestive orders, you can teach your stomach how to relax, and that kind of helps some of that. Migraines and headaches, it can reduce the frequency and intensity without using drugs, which I was like, then you've got immune support.
That one really interests me.
Stress reduction through hypnosis measurably enhances immune function and cellular resistance. And that's really cool. That's part of what I was just saying about picturing your body fighting whatever it is that you need to try to heal or minimize.
Right. Because because in his holistic psychology, it's really has a lot to do with the power of positive thinking. And if you are thinking positive, you don't have that negativity around you that's going to affect the immune system while you're going through things. So now they have it in, or they had it before in hypnosis. I assume it's similar.
Yeah. And that's why I like to teach self-hypnosis too, because then people can go in, if they have these episodes, then they can go in and put themselves into a form of self-hypnosis and work on things that they've been taught through hypnosis and that have been stressed to their subconscious mind.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I really like that because I do believe that. I'm a big believer in that. Even, like pain, sometimes it's, like between the pain management, the immune support, and all this other stuff, that's like, wow.
Well, if you think about it, that negativity that you feel, sometimes it's going to make you tense up. Exactly. And if you can relax and do that with a more positive frame of mind, the pain is going to lessen. Hopefully.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that a lot. I mean, negativity.
There's childbirth.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We could go down a million rabbit holes, and we may need to do this 1 or 2 more times. That's okay. Yeah, so hypnobirthing is kind of fun. That reduces the pain. And that, again, most of us mothers know that when we are going through childbirth, the nurses, or if we have a good support person, helps us to calm and breathe and all that. So it helps keep the pain to a minimum.
Yeah, I agree with that because the pain does.
I
Going through that when you're doing that, whatever it is, the breathing there,
Yeah.
it's less, and people don't realize it. I do agree with that.
It's so important. And I always wanted to do childbirth hypnotherapy, but I was working and raising kids, and I couldn't just like up and go if I had to, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm in labor, come on." I never had that luxury. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's clinical requirements. Should I go to the next slide?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Performance enhancement.
Yeah, that's fun. That's like Olympics.
That's a loaded statement there.
And it can be used for that.
Huh.
But a lot of Olympic athletes use hypnosis to visualize and win. They'll picture themselves at the finish line, and they use that, and it helps their reactions to things, and it's kind of cool, and it helps their focus. So then you've got command the stage. Like, I was deathly afraid of speaking in public. And it was so bad the first time I was invited to go speak for this class on they were teaching healthy eating. And I had done really well, so they invited me back to the next class to talk, and I got up there and I was shaking like a leaf. I was terrified. So much so that the MC noticed it and pointed it out, which didn't help, but I was determined after that. So I started using self-hypnosis techniques. I also went and did, now, not just that, but I also went and did sessions, or I joined a Toastmasters club where they have really supportive, constructive criticism. But I also learned how to take resources in hypnosis and use them, draw them into my body and use them before I got up and stood on a stage. So that got better. Yeah. And so a lot of these things I've used in my own life because I knew things, and I've taught some of this stuff to my children and grandchildren. So when they are feeling anxious or something, there's things that they can do. Retain and recall. You cannot use hypnotic memories that you uncover as a basis for criminal cases, because a lot of times the memory remembers things differently depending on the perspective. It's kind of like when you see two different people visualize something else that happened the same exact thing in a different way. Sometimes with what we know, we might remember something one way, and as we go on in life, we might realize something else and try to remember that, and it's going to be different than what we remembered before.
Yeah,
but it can be used to do shadow work. That's the, I guess, way I'd like to explain that. So
nice.
It's just kind of fun. And sometimes you can use it too. If you've lost something in your house, you can go into hypnosis, and you might all of a sudden notice what you didn't know you had.
I used a pendulum for that.
Weren't you the one that was talking about the map? I thought that was
cool. I make a map of my house, and I use the pendulum to find the room it's in, because my kids always lost Game Boys.
So I love that. My family's always losing the remotes. But I love that idea. And also, for that idea, I can take our 7-year-old. He likes to draw plans and prints and blueprints, and have him draw a picture of the house. So next time he loses the remote, he might be able to find it.
Yeah.
But both of those ways, they're kind of cool. And so accessing the flow states, you're writing a book and you get stuck, or you're doing a painting and you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
You can access that through hypnosis. You go into a nice, deep meditative state, and you'd be surprised at the ideas and things that come through, and maybe the answers that you were looking for all along.
So it helps with writer's block, so to speak.
It does. It does.
Wow. Okay, what else we got here?
The spiritual and personal growth, which is fun. Past life regression. I love doing that. Those are fun, bringing people back to when they were born. That's, to me, that's the top one that I love. Life purpose and clarity. Like, there's all different ways we can get to that. If you've listened to Joni, she talks about, using the astrology to get some of those. And there's a whole bunch of ways to do that, but hypnosis can add to that as well. Forgiveness work. That is, again, shadow work. To release deeply held resentment and old pain. It creates a safe space where you can let go and reclaim emotional freedom, and also not only let go, but also bring in things that will offset that in a way where you bring positive things in to take its place. So it kind of transmutation of your old pain and your old resentment. You transform it into something else.
I've done the past life regression. That one worked. Weird.
So you're not hypnotizable. It's just that
it was somebody different than the other one, but it was a male's voice, and I did the past life regression, and it was pretty interesting, except I don't know if I was dreaming out in a circle, because some of the stuff I saw, I swear to God, I don't know whether it's real or not. Literally, I'm a gypsy in one of those things, and there's a vampire on the hill waiting to come get us. I mean,
I wonder
was
what that
the past
means.
life I don't know. That was one of my past lives. So,
well, one of the things you can think of too, and I've done this with people, is some people don't believe in past life regression. So a lot of times what comes up are things that are symbolic. So it may not be like 100% real, but it could be symbols of themes that have been going on in your life. And it could be from a past life, or it could just be symbolic to awaken you to something.
It's pretty interesting, because my first life, I was right alongside an individual extremely Catholic. Every other life, I'm a witch or a gypsy.
Interesting.
Because I was murdered in the first life.
Yeah.
So in the first life, I was murdered by somebody of the same belief system as me. So I guess after that, it was witch. I just kept going. It was really weird.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that could happen. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to explore that.
Did you ever do the past life one?
I did. I prefer to be able to remember myself. Somebody did a past life thing with me where they did this table tapping. Have you heard of that?
No.
And I was like, okay, well, maybe that resonates with what, I'm like, but it wasn't my own memory. And then, so I've gone into like a deep trance, and there was one where I was a healer and a midwife and helping people. It was either old Scotland or Ireland, one of those places over that way. And somebody lost their baby after it was born and accused me of killing the baby through witchcraft. Because I was using medicine, and only the guys were supposed to do that. And they burned me.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Past life regression. That's something, honestly, guys, I highly recommend that. Past life regression, spiritual connection. That's another one that really helps you, because when you trust your intuition, your instincts, and you can get a better perspective of what's happening spiritually around you, it's really going to help you connect. I mean, it's going to help you work through other issues is the easiest way for me to put it.
And it absolutely does. You might find when you do hypnosis and you heal one thing, that something else from down the line has been taken care of as well.
Yes.
I love the spiritual aspect of hypnosis. It's the best. The inner child healing work, you can revisit when you were a child and reframe some of the more traumatic experiences you've been through. And you can also comfort yourself as that child
Yeah.
that needed that kind of comfort. So it's very, to me, inner child work is very, very healing. And expand your consciousness, which transcend ordinary awareness to experience states of unity, clarity, and wonder that go beyond the everyday thinking mind. A lot of artists do that when they do art, and they are able to bring out vivid colors of things.
Right. Huh.
So
Wow.
that's cool. Anybody got questions?
Yeah, the chat room is just totally silent. But as I said, guys, this is a live show that's 3 o'clock Eastern time. So a lot of our people will watch after they get out of work. But if you have any questions, please feel free. You can drop us a line too. You can go right over to Facebook or YouTube and drop in a message. Facebook's usually easier for a message, or drop a message over to at riftnationnetwork@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to get back to you and answer your questions based on what our show is about. So
Yeah, I love getting questions, and I love like that kind of interaction. So yeah, I absolutely will answer you.
So hello, Ed Odell. Hello, Miss Lois Clark over on YouTube. Michelle Wilfong over on YouTube. Ed on Facebook, and my kid Nutty
Michelle.
H over on YouTube as well.
That's your son?
Yeah, Nutty H. That's why he said, "Boo, make cookies, please."
I think he needs to learn how to make cookies.
No, he can. He just chooses not to. It's just my thing.
They're always
Yeah,
better
it's
when
one of
somebody
those
else
things.
makes
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. So, but that's all
So
right.
the next slide here is about hypnosis for intimacy and relationships. So you can do that either if you're a couple, you can do that as a couple, or you can do it individual, or you can
Right.
do both.
Oh,
And it really helps. There's a lot of intimacy is a huge, huge subject, and I've worked with couples, and I absolutely love it because they're able to take what they've uncovered or worked on in hypnosis and bring it home, and their relationships heal. A lot of times things, when you're with the same person for lots of times, there's things that come up, and it's a good way to address a lot of that.
so the individual work that could be said like I tell everybody all the time that you actually have to love yourself first
Right.
before other individuals love you. So that would go right along the same line and help a lot of people that way. That's what the
Absolutely.
individual. Yep, I'm
Yeah.
just guessing as I go.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah.
And it's so important. And it's so true. We can't, like, if you're talking about intimacy issues in like the bedroom,
Right.
there may be one or both of you may have a hard time talking about it with each other. You can work through that with hypnosis and like play with learning to listen to your partner, and learning to speak to your partner, and learning to tell them, what you want to tell them, but maybe we're afraid to.
Right.
So those kind of things. Then there's also physical issues, like when people go through menopause, or women go through menopause, or men have things that come up. Women might have pain that comes up. And so hypnosis is a great way to address some of that.
Huh. So it's individual work is releasing past shame or trauma, body confidence, self-acceptance. Yep, that's a big thing. Addressing performance anxiety. I assume a lot of men would have an issue with that. Performance anxiety, and building joy for a relationship with intimacy. Those are really good things to assist people and to help them.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. I mean, because a lot of people suffer through a lot of those kind of issues.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, a lot of people do. Huh. Now the partner work is designed for emotional connection, enhance presence and mindful awareness, open communication, very, very big on that. Shared relaxation and trust rituals.
yeah.
Couldn't get that word out.
Yeah, so there may be reasons why that you don't trust your partner, or it may be something that happened with another relationship and you're just carrying it over there. Hypnosis can uncover that and help that.
I mean, that's a lot of luggage to bring someone to another place.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Michelle
But thankfully,
Long says she's enjoying the information.
There's lots of tools to help. So I don't know if we can go through the rest of these real quick.
Okay.
Look at it. I can't even believe this has been almost an hour.
Yeah.
Time goes by so quick. So hypnosis and research and specialized procedures, the placebo effect works really well. So I know hypnotists that work and do like stomach reductions. The virtual gastric band, for instance, that they talk about here. And their whole practice is specialized in that. Now people are starting to work with the placebo effect of using Ozempic and other weight loss drugs or that kind of thing. You can learn to reprogram your body image. Why can't you see something beautiful in your body that everybody else can see? That's kind of cool. Yeah. And then clinical trial support. So say you're going through some of these things that the doctor, and they can offer support as you go through these things that you need to go through.
Huh. Also body image reprogramming. I like that one.
Phantom pain too. It can help with that when somebody loses a part of their limb.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You just got to tell me when to push a slide and I'll do that.
Next one. I guess we had like 7 minutes to get through there. So the hypnosedation is what I was talking about when I talked about the dental.
Okay.
That's a really big one.
Yep, dental procedures. Wow.
If you are going for some kind of surgery where you have to be awake, you can usually take somebody in there with you if you know ahead of time, and you can ask your doctor and set that up so they can help you with that. Dental procedures, injections, blood draws. I used to be terrified of needles. I don't like them anymore. I mean, I still don't like them, but I'm not terrified of them anymore.
Huh.
Images and scans like the MRIs. You could have a hypnotist go in the room where what do they call them? The people that are taking the MRIs, and you can talk to them.
Radiologist, isn't it radiologist? Something like that.
That's the word. Yep. So it'll help. You can talk them through, and you use hypnosis to help with the claustrophobia and all the things that people get stressed out about.
Huh.
Chemotherapy support is a big one. I know hypnotists who go into hospitals and clinics and actually stay with the patients and help them through that. That's a really big one.
Yeah.
And burn care, I mean, that's very, very painful.
Yeah.
And any kind of support that somebody can offer to a burn patient is beneficial.
I agree with that. There we go.
Next,
flashing through to you, tell me to stop. So
no, it's good. So key takeaways is know that hypnosis is natural. Know that you're always in control, and a good hypnotist is going to tell you that, and you can come out of hypnosis anytime you want. If there was a fire going on outside your door and you heard an alarm go off, you would know to get up and go and be in a safe place.
Right.
The applications are vast, as you saw. There's so many uses for it, and that only touched the surface. Works on the subconscious level, so where habits, beliefs, and lasting change actually live and take root. So you can kind of nip that in the bud.
Right. Sorry.
What was that?
Go ahead.
That's okay. Oh, that's your phone.
Yeah, that was my phone.
So safe and evidence supported, going in clinical recognition. It is growing in clinical recognition worldwide. And it's being studied more and more all the time. Years ago, before they had really good anesthesia, Dave Ellman, who was actually, I think he had a radio show. He came up with the thing about using hypnosis for anesthesia when they couldn't do anything else, and doctors would call on him.
I'm starting to think, I don't know how many more slides you have, but my son has an issue with Novocaine at dentists. They can't seem to numb his mouth, no matter how many shots they give him. So wouldn't hypnosis, if I could actually talk him into it, be something that would assist with that?
It could, and I can tell you part of the reason. You with your Celtic background, he's probably got the redheaded gene in there somewhere.
Damn
And
it.
people, it's it's not a
Yeah.
bad thing, but I've had this happen to me too, so I know from experience. I
Yep.
did have some relatives, not a lot, but a few relatives had red hair, and
Yep.
there's something tied to that gene where it takes a lot more Novocaine to numb you than
My
otherwise.
hair
Doctors,
back in the day naturally was blonde, brown, and red. So I had all three in my hair.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's some of that. So he may need more Novocaine, and it's good that he needs to let his doctor know. And
Huh. That
yes,
could
he
be
could
fun.
take a hypnotist in there with him and help him through that.
Hmm.
Or he could take a hypnotic recording with him and see if that helps. They could put headphones over his
Huh.
ears.
All right. Are we going to another one? Is there any more? Or
No,
that's
that's
it?
the last one. I'm surprised
Oh,
we
we
got him
made it.
all through. Yeah. I mean, we
That's
can go
because
into
that's
a
because I
lot
was
more.
talking so much.
We could go into this a lot more detailed and maybe,
Yeah.
have another, if we get enough interest, we could go over one thing and spend the whole hour talking about it.
Oh yeah. We could spend the whole hour talking about anything. I am not really sure. I've got like 3 or 4 ideas for next week's show. But if you guys have something that you'd like to talk about or a topic that you'd like us to look into, we'd love to help you out. Literally, like I said, drop us a line. We'd love to
That
hear
would be,
from
yeah.
you. We'd
Yeah.
love to hear from you and find out. So I'm not sure. I have a few ideas, and I know Linda also has a few ideas. But we'll take a look at it. We can always do meditation one time for you guys that
Mhm.
aren't driving, because meditation and driving is not good.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
There's all kinds of things. There's chakra work. There's crystals information. There's information about oils. There's self-help. There's, you name it. There's a lot of information out there. So
Yeah.
what else do you have to say about this? Because we got like 2 minutes or 1 minute left.
Um, if you're on the fence about hypnosis, talk to a hypnotist and see what they can offer for you, because I'm really a big believer in how helpful it can be.
I know that it made me laugh once, and supposedly my hands were flailing all over the place, yelling at somebody during another one, but I don't remember my hands moving at all. But hey, life goes on. I do agree with hypnotherapy because it's right along the side of holistic counseling. And she's a hypnotherapist. I'm a certified holistic counselor. So I see the balance in it. I really do. And I like the combination. It's really weird. I didn't know you were a hypnotherapist when we started this. So we have a lot of information for you guys, and we'd love to help you out. So literally drop us a line. We're just going to keep going, keep talking, and keep helping you any way we can with as much information as we can. Any last comments here?
I did want to, the one thing I forgot to put in that presentation is you can go into laughter with hypnosis too. And that is extremely healing.
Yes, it is. That's why I used to tell all my clients, fake it till you make it. That's what you do. My go-to when I needed a laugh was always Jeff Dunham arguing with himself.
Oh, I love him.
Yes, the one where he argues with himself and he looks at Peanut when the character's speaking Spanish. He goes, I don't speak Spanish. And Peanut's looking at him like he's nuts because, dude, you're the ventriloquist type thing. So the whole thing was just hilarious. But I really
I love that. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you're watching the replay, please type in #replay so we know you were here and to send you some more love.
Yeah, you can tag us either. If you want to tag us, you can tag us in there and send a message out for ideas, rather than #Cosmic Cushion, put #Susan Steinbeck or #Linda Nielsen. Put it right in the comments and say, hey, I'd like a show on this, or I'd like a show on that. And we'll get the comments because we'll
look at it.
We can, we can have a blast. We got so much interesting poop that
we do. We got a lot in the I love that thing.
See, I didn't say it. The things you find at flea markets. All right, guys. Peace. We
Take
love
care.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.